Before you get started installing our SineWave products, whether that be SineWave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, or any variant in between, we want to illustrate a few tips and tricks that will ensure a secure and long-lasting installation. So let's start with a few important details before handling the actual product itself. First, our SineWave product family is not designed to be field modified. Each SineWave fixture is extruded to exact production lengths and is sealed to an IP67 rating or greater via injection molding. Any installer modifying the product would also assume responsibility for maintaining the ingress protection rating. We ask that you allow our team of expert project managers to assist you by providing factory takeoffs and shop drawings in order to verify all fixture lengths prior to shipping. Next, you'll need to note the bending orientation of the product that you're handling. For our SineWave 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7, these bends can only bend horizontally, while our SineWave 3 can bend either horizontally or vertically. Pay careful attention to the part number on the product that you're installing. Any part number that has an HZ in it will only bend horizontally, while VR will bend vertically. This bend direction is critical because bending SineWave on the wrong axis can lead to internal damage. Similarly, you don't want to bend the product less than the recommended bend diameter. For the wide view SineWave series, that limit is about 4.7 inches or 120 millimeters. And for the narrow view SineWave products, that limit is about 11.8 inches or approximately 300 millimeters. Now again, bending the product around a diameter smaller than this can lead to internal PC board damage, and so we want to avoid it as best as possible. To go along with this, any kind of twisting or pulling or bending of the fixture with excessive force will cause damage to the product. Finally, it's always good to illuminate the product before removing it from the packaging to ensure that everything is in good working order prior to installation. During this initial test, if you find that the product displays an intermittent dotting pattern, this is actually an indication that the power polarity is reversed. You'll want to verify that your wires are terminated correctly and retest. It's important to note that you don't want to leave the product on while it's coiled like this for more than 30 minutes. Doing so will lead to overheating and premature degradation of the SineWave material. Now with all of those notes out of the way, let's get started and unpack our SineWave. When unpacking SineWave, you're going to want to gently pull the product through the package opening. Don't uncoil it from the middle, as this can damage the internal components. You'll also want to be mindful of this little anti-wicking ferrule. This little component reduces the chances of water ingress, and removing it will void your warranty. While we're at it, we recommend that you try to avoid bending the power feed within the first couple of inches. This keeps that ferrule and the protection that it provides intact. Once you've unpacked your SineWave, let's measure and cut the channel to the lengths that will be needed for your project. Ensure that your cuts are smooth without any burrs by utilizing appropriate cutting hardware. And here's a great tip. When you're cutting your channels to length, you'll actually want to trim them a little short to leave some additional space between the power feed from the fixture and the end of the channel itself. We recommend between 0.4 and 0.8 inches or roughly 10 to 20 millimeters. Once your channel has been cut to length, you'll want to place it on the mounting surface and locate the pre-drilled holes. You can screw directly through the base of the channel and into the surface. But be careful, as some surfaces may require a pilot hole to be drilled first. To avoid damaging the outer jacket of the fixture, you'll want to ensure that the screws are driven in flush with the mounting seat in the bottom of the channel. When joining multiple sections of channel to create a longer run, the junctions should be aligned and a small gap should be left between them. We recommend at least 0.2 inches or approximately 5 millimeters. If you're installing the product on the exterior of a building, you'll also need to consider the expansion joints of the building. Make sure that you lay out the channels such that the expansion joints align with the center of a segment of channel. If two sections of channel meet over top of an existing expansion joint, the natural flex of the building can lead to unintended damages to the fixture itself. Now, while it is optional for just about any outdoor installation, we do recommend applying a bead of silicone adhesive down the length of the channel for an even more secure fit. That adhesive should only be used to adhere the sine wave to the mounting channel. Please consult us here at the factory if adhesive will be used for any other portion of the installation process. Before you begin, you'll want to make sure that you actually have another person available to assist in the installation of the light source. One person will be used to place the sine wave into the channel, while the other person will be used to carry it, making sure not to bend the product beyond a 15-degree tolerance. In addition, make sure that the product is oriented with the power feed exiting towards the location of the power source. Place the product into the channel at one end, and then press down along the entire length with your palm. If you ever find yourself needing to uninstall sine wave, you'll want to use a flathead screwdriver or similar and wedge it between the product and the channel running the full length. Just like when you're installing, be sure not to exceed a 15-degree bend when separating the sine wave from its channel. For further help installing sine wave, reach out to our team of experts or visit kelvix.com to learn more.